Old Bloke Goes to the East Neuk of Fife. Part 1. Where, I hear you say? Well, Neuk is a Scots word for corner, and in this case I'm talking about the south-east corner of the Kingdom of Fife. Specifically, the wee row of fishing villages that litter the southern beaches and cliffs, stretching from Anstruther all the way to Ely. We camped up in Pittenweem for 1 week, and Ely the next. So let's start with Pittenweem. The name, which is a wee bit weird, comes from the Gaelic. It means a place of caves. Mainly, I think, in reference to the most famous cave in the village, that of St. Fillan's. You get the key from the chocolate shop just down from the church, and once inside, it's still pretty damp, but very atmospheric. St. Fillan, who like most of the Scottish-based saints came over from Ireland, healed the sick, and wrote religious scripture in the dark, using the light of his glowing arm. What the heck? And this is all in the early 700s. Wouldn't it be handy to have a glowing arm, I mean, you could wave buses down, no problem, and go jogging in the dark without one of the wee hats I've got with a light in it. Anyway, I'm a wee bit I suppose, mocking this, and maybe it's true. I mean, a glowing arm, it might be, radiation, luminescent paint, or pure heavenly light. Who knows? He did have a bit of a saintly pedigree, his mum being none other than St. Kentigernach and his uncle being St. Comgan. Long after his death and sainthood, Robert the Bruce was gifted an anbone of his as a holy relic, which he carried into battle at Bannockburn. I wonder if it's still shone a wee bit, Anyway, after we get our bearings in Pittenweem, exploring our cottage and stuff, we wandered down to the harbour, still vibrant with fishing boats. Loads of nets drying off in the cobbles, next to boxes of prawns and lobster, all being loaded onto wagons, heading for Spain, of course. They arrive in Spain only 4 days later. But I have to ask myself, why? Lobsters. I love them. And I know plenty of other people that love them too. So why don't we eat our own lobsters here in Scotland? Why do we need to ship them off hundreds and thousands of miles away? Why didn't the wee restaurant, bar in the harbour tap into this resource and serve it all up fresh? I mean, whose fault is this really? Is it the fishermen's fault? Have they got a contract with the Spanish that means they can only send every lobster to Spain? Or is it the cost? Is it the fact that the Spanish pay more for it? I mean, could that wee restaurant not just pay what the Spanish pay and add on a wee bit extra and serve it up to us? The staff are lovely in that place, and I can imagine them serving a lovely big salad with fresh lobster. The place would have been packed instead of dead. Anyway, the next day we set off to do the coastal path between Pittenweem and Ely. About 7.5k along the coast, the going is muddy and windy. Only 1.5k into our trek and we reach St. Monan's Spring. St. Monan, mentioned in some texts as being the companion of St. Adrian, was martyred on the Isle of May. This place must have been hoaching with saints at one time. The wee island off the shore, still visible from where we're standing. Well, about 1200 years ago, the Vikings paid a wee visit, and they massacred everyone in the monastery. When they came to say hello. I'm afraid there was 6,600 people in that monastery at that time. I wouldn't even imagine you get that many people on the island. And that must have taken a long time to massacre them all. I mean, horrendous. Another thing kind of popular in St. Monan's in the past was the salt industry. It was big news here at one time. Now a wee tranquil village like Pittenweem is now teeming with shorebirds. It's lovely. You get things like turnstones, oyster catchers, whimbrels, curlews, knots, sanderlings. You get lovely eider duck as well. The males have got a lovely green head, and the females, I'm afraid, are a bit kind of drab. But they have to be, because they sit in the eggs, they need the camouflage, I suppose. But anyway, getting back to where I was, what was I saying? Why? Salt was a big deal here at one time. The place once belched smoke and was kind of minging to live in. Mostly the smoke came from pan houses. That's where they made the salt, and the remains still exist down by the shoreline. In the late 1700s, the windmill just up from where I'm standing would have pumped seawater up onto this site, where I can still see the ruins of about 6 or 7 pan houses. I would have pumped seawater up, as I said, in wooden pipes and then distributed them to the pan houses. Coal would go down chutes into the houses to feed the furnaces that boiled off the seawater. The remaining salt was then stored and weighed for excise duty before being sold all over the world. In 1614, salt was Scotland's third biggest export after wool and fish. But by early 1825, the industry had died away. You see, laced with impurities, the Scottish salt wasn't the best compared to some other places, and people switched to sun-dried salt instead, from places like the Bay of Biscay and such like. Only Preston Pans persevered. Near Edinburgh, it continued the production, finally shutting its gates in 1959. Anyway, St Morans, like Pittenweem, is a very picturesque village, as I said, with a colourful welly garden. You know, loads of coloured wellies, full of flowers, and pretty decent restaurant as well around the corner called Craig Miller, where you can get octopus salad, a Retro's 70s cheddar cheese soufflé, some brill, which is a turbot-like fish, served on a bed of curried lentils, and the chocolate pud was pretty decent too. "Are you really going to stuff your face with that chocolate pudding?" inquires my better half. "Yep," I pronounce, already halfway into the chalky sponge. "Aye, well, you'll get fat again," she says, making me hesitate over the last few bites. "Ugh, I'll run a few extra K," I reply smugly. "At least 10 extra," she adds. "Look at you." I looked at my belly and she kind of put me off the notion. You know, she's quite good at that, you know, put me off things I like. But never mind. Back to the story. Where was I? Oh, aye. Well, we get out the restaurant and head down past the church. And the going gets a wee bit slippier. Hey, but our dog, our mad flatty called Sophie, is loving it. She's bounding down the deserted white beaches, pouncing on any piece of kelp she can find, crunching through the chunky stalks and shaking the leathery leaves as if they were rats until they fall to bits in her mouth. "Oh, don't let her eat that," yelps my better half. But it's too late. She's gulped it all down. It's good for her," I say. "It's full of iodine." "I know what you're full of." "What?" I say. "The same stuff you'll be cleaning up the Mora when she squits out her back end." "Oh, maybe." On reaching Ellie, we stagger into the Ship Inn, a dog-friendly place, run like clockwork. The food here is pretty good, actually. And still starving after the chocolate pud I couldn't quite finish, I decide to have some sausage and mash. It's actually very delish. Mashed potatoes, black pudding, yummy sausage. Very nice indeed. After stuffed my face again, we went on to the X9 bus with a very disgruntled Doug. She doesn't like buses. Everyone fusses over her, apart from a very frumpy old lady who turns up her nose. I just hope she doesn't do anything in that old woman's shiny shoes, I'm thinking. Ellie's quite posh, you see. Sean Connery's got a house here, well he did have anyway, and the boys from Still Game have homes here too, I'm told. The house prices reflect this wonderful location. Another place in Scotland that you have to be absolutely minted to live in. It is a wonderful location, I've got to admit. A 3K sandy beach, 3 decent pubs, a nice old church, a picturesque harbour, a lighthouse and an old castle nearby. It's like something straight out of an Enid Blyton book. Anyway, I'll leave it there for now. Part 2 of the East Neuk of Fife to follow soon. And remember, this old bloke's still got a book out called Old Bloke Goes Running, and it's available on Amazon, Kindle, bookshops, libraries, as an audiobook, all that kind of stuff. You can get much more details about these podcasts, and with pictures, all sorts of stuff to back them up, on my website. All the W's, paulmurdoch.co.uk. Just find the podcast the extra page, and it'll give you lots of bump. So, as usual, if MD is listening, thanks very much. And until next time, ciao for now.